Greetings and welcome to another episode of the TED in Your Head podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Ted Moreno. I am a certified hypnotherapist and high performance coach, and I also teach sometimes at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, the nation's first accredited college of hypnotherapy. I've been doing this 21 years, and if you don't know by now, what I do is I use the tool of hypnosis to help people literally change their minds. Remember, conscious mind, small part of your mind, subconscious mind, bigger part of your mind. 12% conscious mind wants one thing, subconscious mind wants something else and may be stopping you from achieving your goals, dreams, and desires. And that's where hypnosis comes in because we can use the tool of hypnosis to make your mind open to the power of suggestion, and the suggestions that I give my clients are based on what they say they want. So if you think you need some subconscious reprogramming, I'll tell you how to get in touch with me at the end of today's podcast. But for now, let's get into today's show, which I call Protecting Your Peaceful Vibe When Everyone Else is Freaking Out. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of people around me are kind of freaking out. There's a lot going on. And the vibe of anxiety is very, very heavy in the air, particularly here in Southern California, where we have had these devastating wildfires. So everything's been uprooted, right? Not only in Pasadena, but in the Palisades. And, people have moved around, have been uprooted. Just the other day, I was invited to speak at a group of realtors, offering them some advice to help them work with people that have lost homes and businesses. So they were very appreciative. And of course, so was I to be there talking with people that were kind of on the front lines of working with people that had been negatively impacted by the fires. So, yeah. In addition, I find people are getting sick. A lot of people sick these days. Of course, it's raining here in Southern California, rain that we definitely need, but it brings a whole host of other problems. Everybody's inside, breathing on each other. That's when people start getting sick. But in addition to that, people are very worried about money. A lot of money anxiety out there right now, uncertainty about what the future holds. Um, of course, we've just had an election, and up at the very top of the political ladder, people are doing some very interesting things. Things are moving very fast. There's a lot of news. This is creating a lot of anxiety in people, regardless of whether they're red or blue. I don't think many people in the country know what to expect. Price of eggs is going high. We've got this, that, or the other, and on top of that, there's a lot of incitement to make people angry. And so for these reasons, there's a lot of anxiety in the world. Okay, even me, uh, Mr. Calm Guy. I've been feeling it. I've been feeling that kind of low level, like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen if I go on social media, if I read articles. I find myself walking away either angry or anxious, and I don't want to be like that. So, and I have a lot of people coming to me that are anxious about all these things that I've just mentioned. So today, I want to talk about and make sure that you have in the top of your mind some basic things that you want to do to remain peaceful, calm, at ease, and immune, maybe as much as you can be, to other people's freaking out. Okay, so as you can see, if you're watching me on YouTube, I've got my peaceful vibe salt lamp there. I've got my peaceful vibe fresh cut flowers. I'm wearing my peaceful vibe nice warm sweatshirt hoodie. So just a description of how I'm trying to kind of keep my peaceful vibe going on uh, in spite of everything going on around me. Okay, so I'm doing everything I can to stay rooted in calm and mindfulness. So let's talk about being informed. It's important to be informed. However, we're very suggestible. Our minds are very open to social media, to the news and to other people's opinions as well. And that's great. However, until it starts impacting your ability to function and be productive and feel calm and mindful. So when your exposure to social media or to the news or other people's opinions, when that starts making you feel anxious or paralyzing you, that's when it's time to step back from those kind of things. I listened to an awesome podcast the other day. I think it was the Daily Podcast about digital addiction. It was very, very interesting how people are turning towards, not only our regular addictive substances, such as alcohol and gambling and drugs, but now there's a digital addiction too. Even myself, the other day, I was like, I'm not going to go on social media till noontime, but I found myself wanting to read something, wanting to get that hit of adrenaline, like, oh man, there's something going on out there and it's making me angry. And I had to say, no, I don't need that right now. There's other things I need to do. So we want to watch out and protect ourselves from the collective freakiness by being very careful about our consumption of social media and news. These things can be very triggering to our subconscious minds, and that is what they are designed to do. Let's be very clear about this. Okay, much of news media as well as social media is predicated on advertising. It's called the attention economy, right? I'm sure you've heard that term before. So once our subconscious mind gets triggered at somebody out there saying you should be afraid of this or you should watch out for that, then we start walking around with that feeling of unease, and this can really turn into full-blown panic. We don't want that to happen because when we're in that state, we're not effective. We can't contribute our natural gifts to the world, and we can't make the world a better place if we're hiding and freaking out and panicking. Now, I might be overstating it, but for some people, maybe not. So I would suggest that if you feel that you're being negatively impacted by what you see on social media or news media outlets, take a fast, a news fast, a social media fast. Step back, maybe a day, maybe a week, totally up to you. Give yourself a break from all of that bam, 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 this, that, this, that, this, that, and just breathe. Okay? Meditate. One of the best things you can do, even if it's just 5 minutes, sitting there, eyes closed, breathing. The positive impact of this cannot be overstated. The ability to sit and breathe and tell yourself in your mind, right here, right now, everything is okay. That's an incredibly important message to send to your subconscious mind. And meditation or positive affirmations is a perfect way to do that. So take that time every day to put positivity and peacefulness in your mind so that you're focused on doing what you need to do, right? Which is not spending all of your time, traumatized or freaking out or being angry about what you see in the news. Now, I want to be very clear that there are things going on at the national level that we definitely should be concerned about. Call your congressman, write your representatives. All of that is very important, and I know many people feel very strongly about what's going on. And I'm not just speaking to red or blue states, but sometimes there's only so much we can do. So sometimes being overinformed can be a negative thing. So you need to get that balance between being informed or being motivated to be freaky and scared. I hope what I'm saying is clear. Okay, screen time. How much time are you spending on your screen? The blue light interferes with our sleep. And I mean, come on. I don't need to talk about this. You know what's going on. Go to any restaurant. People are no longer talking to each other. They're on their screen. So try to limit that screen time. Be very aware. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to stay off my screen, other than checking text messages from clients, trying to stay off my screen until noontime, which I actually learned from one of my clients. So I think that's a great idea as well. Here's the other thing. There's a lot of people out there that they're kind of drama creators, and I don't mean like theatrical productions. I mean, they want to get you involved in their drama. They want to get you involved in their anxiety. Hey, lend a listening ear, be a shoulder to cry on, but don't allow yourself to get wrapped up in somebody else's anxiety or drama. This is very important. You have to protect yourself from other people's stuff. It doesn't have to be your problem. It does not have to be your problem. So I would suggest to you it's okay to say, I'd rather not talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about politics right now. Or, I understand that you have some issues or challenges or problems. So let me ask you, is there something you can do about it? Are you looking for some advice, or do you just want to vent? If you just want to vent, I have 5 minutes to listen to you vent, and then I got to move on. Or if they say, I'm looking for some suggestions, you can forward them this podcast or one of my many other podcasts that talk about how to bring down anxiety. So we need to keep those boundaries and protect ourselves from people that want to suck us into their drama or anxiety. Okay. And we know who they are, and everybody has people like that in their circle. So we don't want to be mean. We don't want to be insensitive. We don't not want to be compassionate, but we need to take care of ourselves. All right. Okay. So getting outside into what's real. All of this stuff that we read, it's on a 3-inch by 5-inch piece of glass called a screen or your laptop. That's what information is today. Images on a screen. So you want to pull yourself away from that screen, get outside, look at the sky, look at the birds, look at the trees. I was standing outside yesterday watching the rain. It was very soothing, very calming, very peaceful. The cleansing impact of the rain is really a wonderful thing to experience. Of course, here in Southern California, maybe in other places where it's freezing rain, it might not be so comfortable to do. But whatever you need to do to get out and see things that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Mountains, planets up in the sky, phases of the moon. These things are real. These things are part of who we are. And getting in touch with these things is incredibly important if you want to maintain that peaceful vibe. Okay. Now, here's the final piece of it. Your peaceful vibe is created by you, not by anybody else. Reading things may help, listening to peaceful music may help, but what you have to do is you need to generate it from inside. Within each of us, there is a calm, still, peaceful place. It's there. I promise you. You need to find it, connect with it, and practice connecting with it so that you can connect with it more easily and more quickly when your peaceful vibe is threatened by everything that's going on out there. And that's why meditation or yoga or breath work is so important to get used to and get very good at connecting with that peaceful place within. You need to nurture it. You need to develop it. You may not be interested in becoming a Zen master, and maybe you like being edgy and really, really on top of things, and you like, debating, and that's great. That's great. Don't let it overwhelm you or trigger anxiety. Okay? All right. That's what I've got for you today. And my information to you is coming from my own experience with clients, with people. This vibe of anxiety, I am not going to let it mess up my peaceful vibe. So, playing a little bit more guitar, reading some very cool, inspirational stuff, and my fresh cut flowers and my light, my incense, and all of that stuff, right? Smudging. Those are the crazy things that I do. You, I'm sure, have your own way of doing it, but whatever you do, definitely do it. So, leave you with a couple of quotes to end out this podcast. One of my favorite authors, Wayne Dyer, said, "You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside." Sometimes it takes practice controlling what goes on inside, but we can get better at that. Here's another quote by David Lynch, somebody we just lost, David Lynch, the director. He said, okay, well, I thought I had written it down, but I guess I didn't. Hmm. All right. Anyway, I'll have to paraphrase. So, what David Lynch said was, let the world go by, do what you need to do, get it done, let the world take care of itself. So, I'm going to leave you with that today. And if you want to read this podcast as a blog post, you can go to tedmoreno.com/blog. And if you want to contact me, if you're feeling that anxiety, if you need a little support, kind of protecting yourself from the outside anxiety, you can reach me for a complimentary half-hour phone consultation by going to tedmoreno.com/contact. Send me a little email or give me a phone call. Leave a message. I'll get back to you within 48 hours. I'll answer any of your questions. And if you're ready, we'll schedule your first hypnotherapy session. So thanks so much for tuning in. Take good care of yourself and someone else. Bye now.